Well, I'm going to be working on putting the windows and the vent window and the roll-up window in the Nash, so hopefully I can get all the pieces put together. I'm going to do just short videos of it. I'm not going to do a time lapse. Well, I finally got the glass in. I'm not sure if I did it correctly. I didn't videotape me doing it because I was afraid I was going to break it and have it on video and say a bunch of words that are not appropriate for YouTube. But I believe I have it. Got a lot of fingerprints on it, but I used a little bit of soap up in this area here, in this area here, because that's the first parts that touch, and it looks like it cut into a little bit. I may use a little bit more, and professional window guys, I'm sure there's many better ways, but I tried to look on YouTube to see what happened. But anyway, I think I'm happy with this. I'm going to put it on the, gonna cut this off and put it on the vent window frame and assemble it and see how it works. Well, now I have it in the frame. Just a matter of putting it in the car. Hopefully I did everything right. Well, there is definitely an order, I believe, to putting these in. It's been so long ago that I pulled them out, I wasn't too sure. So I'm going to just do some short videos, not a time lapse. Hopefully people are interested in that. First thing I did is get this rubber in. Then I clean this up and I put the glass in here. I got this bar here. That's the window channel. This is removable. Bolts in right about there. I had to put this rubber piece in here so that this had a seal. That piece I had to buy online and then modify it to work on here because it's not like original, but it's pretty close. Then my next step would be to put this little felting piece on here. It goes from here to here, and this is the original one that was in there. And basically I'm going to cut it the same length and put it across there first. Then I'm going to put my window in. I have the mechanism there. So I believe I'm going to take the crank up mechanism, put it through here first. And I'm going to take the window bottom and then insert the window in to it, make sure it's nice and tight, and then I'm going to put it in here. I'm thinking once the regulator's in here, the actual window regulator, that's going to bolt here, actually bolt here, here, and then here. And then when I get my window in here, I'm going to angle the window down so that I can get it in here. And the problem is this piece here that I got from the individual I bought these from. I'm going to have to use some little gluing mechanism and glue them up there, but it is what it is. And then I'm going to put this back on the channels that you can see. I got it all oiled up there. And then I'm going to set it in there, tighten the bolts to a point, and see if it rolls up and down. So that's what I'm going to be doing now. Could do that all off camera because I'm pretty sure it's going to take me forever. Maybe on the other side, when I do that one, maybe I'll do a time lapse to kind of show it. But at this point, I think it's probably just as easy to just explain what I did and if it worked or didn't. And then if somebody else happens to put these in, maybe they won't have as many issues as I have had with this. So anyway, we will show you as I progress. Okay, as you can see, I am using an awl. Hopefully I can get that back in focus here. There we go. Using an awl to punch the hole where the screw is going to go. So the screw is going to go in that spot there. And I'm going to punch it all the way down here. Kind of bad in the way, but there's holes. There's another one there. There, you can see one. And I believe there's one close here, but the lighting's really bad. So anyway, that's what I have been using on the windows. So basically, go and make sure that, just hoping that we can get this all nice and equal on here. So you're looking on this side. I don't know why it's not focusing from here. I think it's because the lighting's not so good. But we'll have this just on the edge there. And all the way along here, we'll have to just bring it down, snug it in there, and it should work. So I'll show you the finished when I get it. Well, I got it in. I don't know why it's not focusing here, but maybe too much to focus on. I don't know. Anyway, so it's in, and again, it's not a major piece that, oh boy, I did a great job, but it's another step closer to where it was, and I think it's fairly uniform along there. Should look okay. Again, I don't know why it's not focusing on what I want it to, but anyway, I'm pleased with how that turned out. And now on to the next step. Well, I got it installed. It's a cork setting tape, window setting tape that I bought off the internet. And I used two 1/32 of an inch pieces cut to the length, and they fit just perfect. I have a 1/16, and that was on both sides. Wasn't quite enough. This must be just slightly bigger than I don't know why it would be, but maybe because of air gapping and whatever. Basically, it should be the same, but it's for some reason it's just the right thickness when you double them up to fit on there to clip it on. Otherwise, it's too tight. And I accidentally dropped this on end. You can kind of see where it's chipped up there. It fell straight to the cement floor. This is on the inside. You can see it doesn't have any chip out here. I'm going to see if maybe there's some fix-it stuff you can kind of pour in there. This is what it would look like from the outside, so you can't really see it. And if it's rolled up, it won't be there. But I want to make sure that it doesn't continue to go. Otherwise, I'll just have to take this off and put a new window in. I hope I don't have to do that, but I will not make that mistake again. I just got a little careless. So basically what I did, and I don't have my tripod, so I'm going to try to do this, is I pretty much set it on there and then just slowly tapped one over this way, tap that down again, tap back and forth, and I used a rubber mallet, and it didn't seem to cause too much issues. Took a while. I had to go back and forth, but I believe that it is good enough, and all I did is center the window frame rail, if that's the correct terminology. Just centered it on the glass, and we're gonna install it soon. Later. I do not know why I didn't realize this before, but I need to cut this out because this sits in that up and down rails, and I tried to put it in there, and it's like, oh my goodness, it just wouldn't fit in there. So that has to be cut off, and people who do this all the time probably figured, yeah, that's pretty obvious, but anyway, so I need to trim that. And when I'm putting it in the car, I am going from the inside of the car and putting it in this way. I'm not going to be able to do it with the video very well. And then I slowly turn it this way. So hopefully that comes out with the video here. I'm going to try to zoom out a little bit. Okay, so when I'm putting it in the car, I'm going from the inside of the car and sliding it in this way, and then slowly turning it this way, and that'll fit in the rails on this side. And then because that has a curve on this side, it will fit in there. And then I'm going to push it all the way up and somehow try to keep it up there. Then I'm going to put in the window crank mechanism and then tie it up to those pieces right there. Well, I got it in. All the greasy fingers. I haven't cleaned it up yet, but oh, it was a pain in the butt. Now I know why they charge lots and lots of money if you have someone try to restore it. This was a pain. It wasn't so much the getting the window on the track, it was getting everything adjusted here and here so that these windows all close decent and open decent. So now it rolls down decent, and it's all dirty. I gotta clean it up. But you can see that little bit of chip I have on there, but that's just the way it's gonna be. So it goes up, and gotta do some cleaning up on this pieces here, and we should be good to go. All right, that concludes this side. Okay, I did my my driver's side window and did the setting tape. I purchased the setting tape through Restoration Specialties, and I'm not getting paid by them, so go ahead and it seems like it's a pretty good company. They sent it to me right away, and then I looked under glass setting tape, and you can do this all online, but they sent me a nice book, and glass strip, rubber, and cork. I like that one because it does squish a little bit. When I first did my passenger side door, I think I only bought this one and this one. I thought that would be enough. And so I had to double up some of the cork pieces. But I didn't want to do that this time. I want to have a single cork on the vent and the large roll up window. So I bought all four of these, about 10 feet a piece, and you can see it can add up. But this cork, which I used for this window, that I found out is the thickest of it, and this is the one that I used for this window. This thinnest one, which is that one right there, that one I used for my vent window, and I would not use any thicker unless you have a different type of car than 37 or 38 Nash. You will be having a very tough time, because I'm not gonna lie, it's a pain in the butt to do this because of the angle, and when you run tape, anything on that has a curve to it, it likes to buckle when you press on it, and that's exactly what happens. So what you do is you take that tape and put it over the edge tight and give yourself, a half inch or so. And online they use electrical tape. I use Scotch tape. So I got up on the edge here, made it equal on both sides, made sure that was equal, taped it, moved down, and especially on this one, moved down, I don't know if I went more than 2 inches, another piece of tape, 2 inches, another piece of tape. Here you really have to watch it because it really likes to buckle when you get to there, and then on the straight it's decent. But when you're done, and you need to have it snug against this. You don't want to pull it, stretch it tight, but you want it flush against your glass, and then tape it so that it's not saggy, because you'll have buckles all along this edge here, about up to here. Those buckles where you have a major buckle, you want to cut on both sides, and then you want to lay the flap of rubber over so that you can trim off what's hanging over the top of the other one. Trim it off so it looks like that again, all the way around. This one's going to be a lot more. It's going to look really weird. And when you cut these corners, there's not a lot of rubber on the outer edge of the glass because you've cut a pie shape on there, and there's probably only about that much that's actually rolling over the glass. So you got to be careful when you're putting this in. So I used just regular hand soap, liquid. Some of them say use the foamy stuff. That probably works great. I just didn't have any of that, so I just used regular hand soap and made sure it had a light coat all the way around, because when you put this glass in, it will catch right here and right here, and you have to tap a chunk of glass about that far all the way in. And once it gets to this point, that's where it wants to do pressure, because this one doesn't give like the door window glass. Door window glass tends to give a little bit. This, as far as I could tell, does not give. So you want to take your time pounding this. So when you're pounding it, you flip it on this edge of this glass here on a rubber mat, and then you take a rubber mallet and start tapping. And you can be aggressive with this, because I was pretty aggressive with it, and tap, tap, tap. And you want to leave a little bit of glass left over. The bottom one here, I didn't leave as much. I wished I would have. But you want to leave a little bit so it actually seals against this. So it seals against this edge here. So there has a little bit of seal. I don't have much glass here. I have a little more glass up there, so I wish I would have done a little more, but I think it'll be fine. But so that is how I did this side. It was a little bit easier, but still was kind of a pain. So what I was talking about, I'll use the example of this here. When you want to have this vinyl kind of side, that side has to go against the glass. This rubbery, stickier side, that goes against your channel. So let's see here. So yeah, so this is how you go. You give yourself a little bit of extra, and as you can see, you want to have this relatively square on, and then you want to tape it, and then you want to move down and tape it so that both sides are somewhat equal. And once you have tape on it, it'll be a little more forgiving. But basically, you want to have it equal on both sides of the glass. And let's see. And you don't, if I didn't mention it before, you do not want to put the soap on the glass side, only on the channel side. That slips in. The glass side's already in. You don't need to put any soap on that. So that's how I did it. There's probably professionals that have different methods, but this is the way I did it, and it has worked.